Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And I was asked by Lady Di to possibly put together a little tutorial of how I take two just regular letter size challenges that I've purchased from two different people and how I put them on one page and print them. So I do like to have my challenges a little smaller. So if I purchase them in like the standard 8.5 by 11 paper size, you can shrink these to fit your A5 binder, or maybe you just want to just shrink them enough so they print two on one piece of paper and you want to create like maybe a happy planner style binder. Let's see here to get things started. I do use Canva to do this, and I do have the purchase version, but these options you should be able to do with the free version. So all you have to do is download the Canva app and create an account, and they have a free version. And I do use window based computer, but I have used this on my iPad too. So I know they have a Mac version and some of the options may be a little different though, because Windows and Mac tend to run a little bit different on how the app works. So to get things started, all you have to do is open up your Canva and you click on this create a design. And then I always click custom size. And I would want to put in 11. Well, actually, you want to change this to inches. So you want to do, I want my paper to be like in landscape view. So the size of a regular letter size paper is 11 by 8.5. So that's what I type in and I click create new. Okay, so I want to kind of increase the size of this so I can see it better. I guess I can kind of show you if, let's just say you don't necessarily want it A5, you just want to be able to print two on one piece of paper. Obviously, they will be smaller, but you don't necessarily need to have them fit into an A5 binder. You can just do this. So if you go ahead and click on this little upload button, I'm going to have stuff in here because I use this all the time. If this is the first time you're using it, this is going to be blank. So you're going to want to hit upload and then, okay. So what you want to do is hit that upload button. You want to go to the area on your computer where you have your savings challenge saved. So, like, I'll give you an example. Let's say you purchased my dog park board game, which is a regular letter size when you purchase that in my Etsy shop. I'm going to go ahead and double click on that. And I'm not really for sure. Sometimes it'll show up. I'm not for sure how Canva decides where this file shows up, if it's either going to show up underneath your uploads. But if you don't see it pop into here, you might have to go down and hit your projects button because for some reason that is where it put it. And then, if you don't see it there, you might just have to click back and then it'll show up in the uploads. But for some reason, it popped up into my projects folder. So those are the two folders you'll have to look for when you upload a file. So what I'll go ahead and do is click on this. I will go ahead and just click on that. And then you can see that it brought it into my Canva here. Okay, so it brought it into my page. And in Windows, I can just take my mouse and I can just click outside of it here and hold my mouse button down and go ahead and highlight everything. And then I release my mouse button and you can see that it's all selected and I'm just going to kind of move it over here. Now I know I'm going to have to, if I want to put another one on here, I know I'm going to have to shrink this down a little bit. So I just grab this little circle in the corner there and I shrink it down a little bit. And I'll show you also how to do it if you wanted to fit your A5 binder. But right now I'm just showing you if you don't care if it's an A5 binder, but you do want to make it smaller, and then just print two on one piece of paper. This is how you would do it. Okay, so let's say then you also purchased my lily pad one. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. And you can kind of see how it shows the progression of the upload right here. So it's going to go to my projects here. Okay, so it must be done. So I'm going to hit projects. And I had to click that little back, there was a back button here that I pushed. So here's my lily pad one, so I'll click on that. Okay, so you can kind of see when I clicked on that, it took over the page. So it kind of, actually this one just created its own page. Sometimes you have to go ahead and create a page, like hit this button and add a page before you add in another file. Otherwise it might just go over top of the previous one you had. So this one automatically made a new page for me. But what I want to do is I want to put this on the same page. So I'll go ahead and take my cursor, hold down the left side of my mouse, and I'm going to highlight everything. And then I can release my mouse and I can then click on this and hold my mouse down. And I'm also scrolling up at the same time. So I'm basically I have a hold of this file with holding my mouse button down plus scrolling with that little scroll button in the middle of my mouse. And then I'm just going to release my mouse and there it's on one page. And so as you can see, I need to decrease it so it's going to fit on one page. So, and I might want to make this one a little smaller too. So then you can go ahead and this is going to print on one piece of paper. So to print it then in Canva, you would hit the share button. You would click on download. This is how I do it anyway. And I always save it as a PDF print. So I do PDF print, and I really only need this first page here. So I will just click on page one, and I'll hit download, and it will download it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and open my file. Okay, so as you can see, it's all on one page. And so what I'm going to want to do is just print it. Okay, so I'm going to want to print it. And sometimes I have to go into my more settings. And sometimes I like to click on this actual size. Otherwise it doesn't necessarily, it might not print how you want it on your piece of paper. So to be safe, I always just hit this actual size. And then I hit print. That's how you would do that if you don't care if it's an A5, but you want it to print on one piece of paper and maybe punch some holes in it where it'll be kind of a custom size happy planner for you. Now, if I want to make sure that it does fit my A5 binder, I click on this Elements tab. Usually the lines and shapes show up right away, but if it doesn't, you can just search like rectangle or box or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead. I know I want a box and I kind of like it with the rounded edges, so I'll go ahead and click that in there. And I just change it to white. So I change it to white, and then I do my border, whatever thickness I want. And then for an A5, it has to measure, I like mine to measure 7.3. So this will be like if you want it vertical. Now, if you want your challenge to be horizontal in your A5 binder, when you create this template, instead of right at the beginning, like it was when I was at the home page of Canva and I typed in that custom size of 11 by 8.5, if you want this going the other way because you want your challenges to be going horizontal, you would type in 8.5 by 11, and then this would flip this so it's like that. But I want the ones I'm doing right now and showing you, I want them to be in like a vertical layout. So in this box measurement would be the same, but you would just flip it. So like, let's say you are doing horizontal one, you would do 7.3 by 4.7. So this is the size you would do for horizontal. But I want it to be vertical, so I'm just going to go ahead and flip this around here. So this is this. I know this size fits my A5 binder envelopes, just the way I like it. And you can move it like this. But it seems like the best size for me is 7. I believe it at 7.2 by 4.7. Okay, so I know that fits my A5 binder, and what I could do, let's see here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and download like this Cloud9. Let's say, Lisa Grateful Me, she gave away this Cloud9 one. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this, and I just want this part of it. So as you can see, it just automatically put it to another page. Um, I don't know if your computer will do it depending on your operating system. It may not do that. So I want it to fit in this box, or as close as I can. So I am going to go ahead and highlight all this. So I just hold my left side of my mouse button down, highlight it, and then release my mouse. And then I go ahead and click on this and hold it, and then scroll up. And I know I'm going to have to make this smaller. So I just kind of go like this, and then I decrease the size until I know it's going to fit approximately. So this is going to be kind of approximate. I know if I make it this size, it's going to probably fit into my A5 binder. I just create this little border. Sometimes I like to print it on there, but some of the files don't go down perfectly for it to do that. I just kind of use it as a guideline of, okay, so I know if I have this small enough, that's going to fit into my A5 binder. Let me go ahead and open up another one here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the hot air balloon one that I purchased from Madeline Budgets. So sometimes I have to hit that projects button once for it to show up. So here's her balloon challenge. And when I clicked on it, it went ahead and created a new page and put it on there. So when I move this in here, you can see that it did kind of move these numbers around. So I just kind of redo it. So I go ahead and just put them in again and put them in there. I might have to kind of mess around with it. Not all of them do this, but sometimes the ones with the numbers on it like that, it will kind of move things around. Um, so then I just have to kind of, I had to take away those fives. So I just highlight this, duplicate it, and then put it in the spot. Not all of them display stuff like that, but sometimes you gotta pay attention to that and just kind of move them around. Okay, so then I just take my mouse. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it, drag it up, and then I'm going to decrease it so it is inside this box, because then I know it's going to fit into my A5 binder. Just like that, and then I can click out, and then you can kind of see how this one's kind of, it's over her little logo. So I'll just click on that and bring it over. Maybe if I want this over a little bit. So sometimes you have to move things around just a little bit to make it fit, but it's usually nothing like too crazy. Okay, so then I would do the same thing. I would hit my share button and I would hit download. And I always do a PDF print. And I just want this page, so I'm going to do current page and then download. And then hit open. And there is my file to print. So when I go ahead and print, like I said, I'll do the print, and then my options, I usually do actual size, because sometimes it will distort the size if you don't do that. So that's just kind of a quick tutorial I thought I would do for you at the request of Lady Di, of how, if you don't want to waste paper, You can always, in your printing settings, like if you just open this as a PDF file, you could always shrink the size of it and have it fit your A5 binder, but you're still not getting where two challenges print on a page. So when you shrink it down, you're still wasting a lot of paper. Um, I just like to do this because I feel like if I'm gonna want to shrink all, more than one down, I might as well add it to one page and print two challenges on a page. So like with reinventing Renee's Shut the Box one, like I want multiple copies of that. So like let me go ahead and open up um, reinventing Renee's Shut the Box. Let me see here. You can see it's uploading here the progress of the projects. Now hers is another one that does that. It distorts it. But all I found is I click on this box and all of her numbers are in there, and I just have to like drag it over. So I have to like make that box bigger, and then it readjusted the numbers to the correct size. So it was just like this. So it was like almost like the box was too small when it uploaded. For some reason, it just kind of moved it. So I just had to make this box bigger, and then it put the numbers back. Okay, so like with hers, I like to have print two to a page. So then I'll go ahead and decrease it. I'll make it sure it's like that. Yeah. So I just kind of bring it up and make sure it's the size of my little box that I know fits my A5. So it is. So I resized it. I'll bring it back down. And while it's all highlighted, I just hit duplicate, and here I have two of them. So then I can print two of hers to a page. If whereas if you would have just opened this file and just shrunk it down to fit your A5 binder and like your Adobe software, whatever software you use, it would waste this whole side of the paper. So if you know you're going to print multiples of these and you want them to fit your A5 binder, this is how you could do it by getting two of them on a piece of paper, and then you just download and print. So yeah, so I hope this makes sense. I'm not always the best at explaining things, but Lady Di requested it, so I thought I would just give it a try. Um, and if you guys have any questions, just leave a comment down below. And if there's anything you ever see me do on my channel and you're like, well, how the heck did she do that? Just ask me, and I could see, maybe I could do a tutorial on it and show you. So yeah, that's pretty much how I take a regular letter size challenge and shrink it down so it fits on one piece of paper, or so it fits into my A5 binder. So if you enjoyed this video or you like it, just leave me a comment. And like I said, if you guys ever have questions on other things that I do, I would be more than happy to try to video on it. I will talk to you later. Bye.